Well, hello, everybody. It's so good to see you today. Hi, I am Ellen Lewis, and I am here with your Why Tupperware Why Now interview for tonight. And I'm so excited. I'm going to be interviewing Melanie Ridenour, and I am so excited because she is a leader here at Champion. And she's been in the business for quite a while, right? How many years did you say? 20?
22, yes.
Me too. Yeah. So that's super exciting. So I'm excited to be here with her tonight. So before we get to know Mel, I just wanted to really quickly just tell everybody, hello. I'm so glad you're here. Say hello to us in the chat. We would love to see who's here. If you were invited by somebody, go ahead and just tag them in the chat and be like, oh, so and so invited me, all that kind of good stuff. Yes. Happy Wednesday, Tracy. All right. But go ahead and save that right in the chat. Then that way they'll know you're here. And if you have any questions, go ahead and put those right in the chat so that we will address those at the end. So I'll be keeping an eye on that. So if you have any questions that pop up, just go ahead and put those there. But just a little bit about me, because some of you maybe have never watched this before. And so I wanted to introduce myself. My name is Ellen, and I am a leader here at Champion. And I've been in Tupperware about 14 years, I think, about 14 and a half years or so. And I started all those years ago. I came in to make money. A lot of people start, and I'm interested to hear why Mel started, because I actually didn't ask her that question beforehand. But a lot of people start for a discount. Like they just love the products, and they're just like, oh, you know what? I just love the products, and I want a discount. Or maybe they start to make like a little. They have a small goal, a little extra money to pay for, dance lessons or something like that, whatever's going on in their life at the time that they just kind of needed a little extra for. But I truly came in to make a full-time income because my kids were little and I have a background in restaurants. And so I didn't really feel like they made a daycare to work around restaurant hours. And at the time, my husband was working retail and things like that. So they're very, those hours are great when you don't have any kids or when you're single. But once things kind of start to roll and life starts getting full, it gets more complicated. So that's what I came in to be able to work from home with my kids and provide a full-time income. So we're interested to hear what any of you are thinking about tonight. So definitely put anything right there in the chat. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So Mel, I'm so excited that you're here with us tonight. Now, we are a national company. So Champion is our company within Tupperware, and Champion is run by Pam and Jim Clift. And so we have people all over the nation now, even more than ever. And so Mel is one of our leaders, but we're up at the top part of the state of Ohio, and she's down at the bottom part of the state of Ohio, right? You're right by the border, yes?
Yes. 3 hours from Cleveland.
Yeah. So that's not too bad. We have somebody I'm hoping to interview soon that lives in Tobago, which is just like, what? So we stretch a little internationally because she has a US mailing address. So we have people all over the place. And so that's the beauty of Zoom and all the virtual stuff, is that we're able to kind of connect with more people, and which is really fun. All right. So Mel, tell us why Tupperware all those years ago, 20 years ago, why did you decide to sell Tupperware?
Well, I had started selling another company first, and it was just to use the products. And then my husband and I, we got married and we built a new house, and we both had hand-me-down Tupperware. So we decided we would do a party, or I would do a party. And after the party was over, we're cashing up all the goodies that I got. And then the consultant, she kind of failed to ask me. So make sure you ask. But she failed to ask me if I wanted to join. And actually, John, my husband, he said, can she go ahead and start? Because there's so much more that we want. Can we get a discount? So that was kind of the beginning of that, so that we could fill our cabinets in our new house.
I love it. Absolutely. See, a lot of people start for a discount.
Yeah.
Pam Clift herself, the one who owns our company, she started for a discount. She jokes and says she started to quit. She started with the end in mind, which was in her mind 6 weeks later. But she started making money and it just kind of stuck. So absolutely. So what has been your experience, your overall experience in Tupperware?
My overall experience. Well, I've learned a lot about myself and other people. I think it's not only products, it's not only plastic, it's so much more than that if you allow it to be. I learned about myself as in to grow. So that's been the most rewarding experience. I think from the very beginning. I didn't get in it to do that. I wasn't looking for that, but it just seems like that's what happened. So I really enjoy it, and it helps me get to know other people and their personalities. It's kind of like a puzzle. Try to figure out how my personality can fit with theirs, and other people can fit with other people. And yeah, so it's gets interesting sometimes, but yeah, I like puzzles. So there we go.
That's a great way to put it. It
Yeah.
is like a puzzle because it's so different every time, whether you're talking about parties, right? Every party that you go to is different.
Mhm.
And the personalities of the party is different. Like every party kind of has a personality. A lot of times it has a lot to do with the host. Because like attracts like. And so a lot of the people there are very similar to the host personality. But sometimes, I mean, you know how it is. You get together with girlfriends. Sometimes you get a little crazier than you normally are.
Right, right. You do.
And that happens at Tupperware parties too.
Yes, yes, yes.
Absolutely.
We like that
Oh,
fun.
well, so let me ask you this. So, what has been your favorite part about Tupperware?
It still has to be the people, meeting new people and getting to go all the places I've gone, having girl time and guy time too. There's some guys in Tupperware too, but yeah, I love Jubilee. We have that coming up this summer and we finally get to go in person. So I'm very excited about that. Yay. And, twice a year we have what we used to call sessions, and then we called it Spring Fest, Fall Fest, whatever the names are, doesn't matter. But yeah, it was always so much fun to get together with everyone. So I'm very excited about Jubilee, that we get together and everyone gets to see each other and, hugs and all that stuff. And yeah, I'm very excited about that. Yeah.
I'm excited about that too. And I'm also, so here is something that is a gift from COVID is that not only do we do any more, it seems like we do have in-person opportunities, but we also have a lot of virtual too. For like, you can sign up for a virtual Jubilee for people that live too far away, or maybe their life's too complicated to be able to step away, which I totally understand. I've managed to go to every conference since I started. Every conference that I had the opportunity to go to, I have managed to go to, by the grace of God, because life, that's a lot of years of everything falling into place at the right time with
Yeah.
kids and life
I've
and
been to
all.
21. I didn't go my first year, but I've been to 21 ever since. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it's been a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. And I think I missed one Spring Fest because I had the flu. And that was a big bummer.
Yeah.
I was so disappointed. But yeah, so it's fun. I agree with you on that. I agree with you with like the people and all of that. And a lot of times they say people start for whatever reason they start for, but they stay for the people. They stay for the friendships. And would you believe that to be true? It sounds like it for
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love it. I love it. All right. So, why is now a good time for people to start or consider a Tupperware business?
I think the reason you want to start now is all the excitement that's going on. We got birthday month. We're right in the midst of birthday month, which is the favorite month of the year as far as Tupperware goes. And there's so much that's offered for us and for everyone who we hold parties for, our customers. It's great to build a team this time of year, because so many people wants to get in on all the action. And I think it's really a good time for that. Another reason why is because the excitement coming up this summer, going to Jubilee. And I think if people have never experienced conference, they at least need to go one time. It might not be your last, but yeah, you got to go at least once, I think, because yeah, it's a write-off, which is a good thing. And yeah, you get girlfriend time. It's really a time of training. There's it's kind of overwhelming in a good way
Yeah.
because your mind is like, by the time you get 3 days of training, because it's all the time go 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 go. When 3 days is over, you're like, ooh. But it's a good kind of thing. You're ready to come back home, make your plan for the fall, and hit it with the ground running. So yeah, it's a great time to start.
Yeah, absolutely. And okay, so Jubilee again, I have to, you were talking about it can be kind of overwhelming. And I remember my very first Jubilee, and it was closing session, right? And it's this big, like, we're so excited that you're here and we can't wait to see you next year. Like it's this big, crescendo of energy and excitement and all of that. And I remember it ended and I started to cry. And I'm not a crier, and that's like I'm kind of emotional these days because we got some like big milestones in life going on in my house. So it's making me a little emotional, but I'm normally not necessarily a crier. And so, and it was just so much over like emotion and excitement and just all of it from all those days. But I remember just feeling so excited. So that's why I was like, why am I crying when I'm really excited? But it happens. But absolutely, no, I completely agree with you about now being a good time because of just the things that are coming down the road. And so us as leaders, we know even more stuff that's coming that you guys should be really excited about that we can't necessarily talk about. But that is, I mean, there's a lot going on in Tupperware, and it's definitely the place to be. I totally agree with that.
Well, I know that even like the manager program is really good right now. Yeah, I
Yeah.
really like it. So yeah, they need to cash in on that. I mean, you could get a whole slew of stuff with the manager program. So they really
Oh,
need to get in on that and move up. Yeah.
yes, I totally agree with that. There's so many great programs for people just getting started, and as you kind of grow your business, so many great programs to be able to really reward you for those efforts, not only monetarily but also with some gifts and things like that. So it's funny because I actually have had people like think that we get paid in Tupperware, which is always like amuses me. They're like, "Don't you have enough Tupperware?" And I'm like, "I don't get paid in Tupperware." I'm like, "Yes, if I got paid in Tupperware, I would have way too much Tupperware, but I actually get paid cash." But we do have a lot of giveaways. We do earn a lot of Tupperware though,
Yeah.
but the cash is more and it's better.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So I see, I'm just kind of skimming through the chat and I see, Tracy's talking about growth and personal development are just like, there's such a huge bonus. And I totally agree with you, Tracy, that it's the type of personal development that carries through to all of your life. It carries through to being a good person, being a good human, to whether you're a mother or whether you're a father or just a friend, to be a good friend to somebody. And it's just one of those things. And she said people are really wanting to learn how to extend the life of products. Absolutely. Of produce. Absolutely. And there's so much, like even today I was just kind of messing around in the kitchen. I cook a lot. And so I was messing around in the kitchen and I was trying to adapt a recipe so that my husband could eat it because there's some things he can't eat. So I was trying to kind of get creative. And I threw something together, and like it was like a chicken broccoli Alfredo type of a thing, but of course I can't have gluten, he can't have dairy, like he can't have lactose, so I'm like trying to like mess around with this whole recipe. And I did it, like I was like, the products made it so easy, and it makes it so easy to do those type of things. So I agree with you on that, Tracy. All right. Okay, so we're gonna just answer some questions. If you have some questions, go ahead and put them right in the chat, and we'll just kind of skim through that as well. So some of the most popular questions that people ask are, how much money can I make? And that is one of those things. A couple of these questions, a lot of times we turn back on you, right? Because it really is up to the individual as far as like, what is your goal, right? What is your goal for, if you come in wanting to make a couple extra $100, yes. If you come in looking to make $1,000 a month, yes. And so it's just a matter of what it is that you're looking for. And then we can help guide you on that path to get you to wherever that is. Because your goals are our goals, right? We have our own goals. I had my own goal when I came to Tupperware. Mel had her own goal. She wanted Tupperware for a kitchen. I wanted 6-figure income. Like, I was business. Like, I was like, I'm in it for the money. And so it's just one of those sort of things. So the other question is, how much time will it take? And that actually kind of goes hand in hand with the money, because if you're coming in wanting to make, $1,000 a month, $1,500 a month, you're going to need to carve out a little bit more time than somebody that's looking for an extra couple $100 a month. And that just makes sense, right? Just like if you came into, you were going to get a part-time job working, and you're wanting to make $100, okay, I'm not good with math, so I'm just going to say you get paid $10 an hour. So that means you're going to have to work those $10 an hour to make the $100, right? So you see what I'm saying? And if you are only want to work 2 hours, then you're only going to get the 20. And so it all kind of goes hand in hand. The best thing though, and the thing that a lot of times people find as a huge perk, is that flexibility. And especially now with all the virtual options and training that we have available for you to work a virtual business, there's even more choices. So if you are homebound, if you take care of somebody who can't leave the house, if you, don't drive, or if you are wanting to leave the house, if you are wanting to go do in-person parties and to work an in-person business, that's available too. And so that flexibility makes it a lot easier to squeeze in whatever hours it is that you're wanting to put in to make X amount of money. And so that makes it really nice, because it truly does fit kind of around all of the things that you already have going on. And so some people are like, I don't have any more time. However, you can find those little nooks and crannies, and this is a nook and cranny business, right? You can make a lot of money working your time in the nooks and crannies and around your busy life. So that is definitely that's something I've enjoyed all these years. I mean, and every now and again, I just kind of sit back and think, oh my goodness, thank goodness that it's so flexible, because it is allowing me to do X, Y, and Z. And it's like almost daily that I'm like flexing my business all around doctor's appointments and picking kids up, taking them to get haircuts and taking them here, there, and everywhere. That's the phase of life I'm at right now. Now, Mel's at a different phase of life, right?
It really is. I mean, you can party here, you can party there, you can do it anywhere, as they say. But I mean, seriously, you can talk to people while you're on vacation. You can, my son, he lives in Texas. So when I go to Texas, it's like, what do you think I'm talking about? Even though I think I'm going to go on vacation and we'll leave Tupperware at home. No, I still talk about Tupperware. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's just like it's in you, it's in your blood or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, I think a lot of times people are, well, I don't have time for that, or, I don't think I can commit that much time, or whatever their, word choices are. But I think once you get in, you find that it's a job that is, when you have a 9-to-5 job, it's like you have to work your life around that job. Tupperware is the opposite. I mean, our life comes first, and then Tupperware comes second, which is so nice. And you find the time. I mean, I don't even know how we do it, but you just do. You find the time. It's something you enjoy. It's something that you can't wait to do. So it's not really like a job. So I think that, when people actually get into it, they're like, oh, I didn't realize, I don't know where I came up with this time at, but I have time to do a party. I have time to talk to people. I have time to build my team. And you don't even know where you found the time, but you find the time. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's rewarding.
Yeah, exactly. And when you see the value, you find the time. Yeah. You figure, because it just kind of gets exciting.
Right.
And so it can be like, you just try it. Like, I'm somebody, like, when I start something new and I'm excited about it, I'm a little obsessed. Like, I'll be honest with you, I will fall asleep with a book in my bed on whatever that subject is, because I'm reading it and I just fall asleep reading or whatever. Like I immerse myself, and I know there are lots of people out there like me. And so something else Tracy said is the flexibility part of this business is huge, and she's absolutely right. And if you can only work 4 hours a month, great. Nobody is here to say that's not enough. You
Right.
know,
Right.
we're here to just kind of, just help guide you, and just because, I mean, when I came to the business, I didn't know exactly what I was doing. I had been in direct sales before, just like Mel. I had been with actually 2 other companies before I started Tupperware. So I understood the gist of it, but I also didn't have huge success, and I was looking for huge success. So I didn't know how to do that. And so I needed a lot of guidance there. And that's what I found. And that's actually the last question that a lot of times people ask is there training available? And we have so much training available for all of you binge watchers. We have on-demand stuff for you. Tupperware actually in the website has this great program that is just a series of videos that you can kind of click through and go through all the various subjects to be able to figure out what it is that you're doing. However, here at Champion, we also have in-person training. We have a virtual live training that you can tap into. We will probably eventually have some in-person training for people that are wanting to come to the area that we're in. But we will never not have virtual training, just to be clear about that. For anybody who is watching outside of this area, we will always have this piece for you. But we also have an incredible backlog of training that you can tap into at any time. And that's something I love to take advantage of. If I'm struggling in something in my business, even 14 years later, we all get in slumps, right?
Right.
It happens to all of us. And so all of a sudden, everything that we've been doing, for whatever reason, is not working. We can't figure out what we're doing wrong, what we're doing differently. And you just go back to the drawing board. And so I will do a search on our YouTube page and just find, if I'm having trouble dating parties, I look for dating training and I watch it and implement it and try the different ideas. And it just, usually that's all it takes to kind of shake things up and get me back on track. And so all that is available to anybody at any given times, which is super cool.
Yeah, which is another thing, like when we have our cooking on Tuesdays,
Mm-hmm.
we have our team meetings on Thursday. It's like there's something almost every evening, and you kind of pick and choose what you want to get into. But even after 22 years, there's always something I'm learning. It's like, oh yeah, I remember that idea. Or it's like, well, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to try that or whatever. So, I mean, there's always something. And even when you're with a group of girls and you're not necessarily talking about Tupperware, it always comes up, and you're all the time thinking, just like at Jubilee, we would sit there and we'd chit chat about everything under the sun, by the pool or whatever. And what comes up, Tupperware comes up, and it's just little ideas that you have to write down in the back of your head, file it away for later. But there's always ideas coming up, always little things coming up, that helps us in our business. So it's pretty cool.
It is very cool. Absolutely. You're completely right. Awesome. All right. So Mel, any final words? If there's somebody on here and they're on the fence, they're thinking about joining, what is your advice to them?
I think they ought to give it a try. It may not be for everybody, but it's for everybody to try. So why not? And now's the best time to do it.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. I couldn't say anything more. So, all right. Thank you so much, Mel, for joining us tonight. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If you're watching the recording, definitely, and anybody watching right now, go back to the person that shared this with you or your Tupperware connection. Go to them if you have any questions, anything like that. And just to find out next steps as far as getting started, because we'd love to see you at one of our future events. We'd love to see you there. So thank you, everybody, for joining us, and we will see you next week. All right. Bye.
Bye.